What's up with it, y'all? Once again, it's your boy Daddy Cree with another rendition of Man Look, the talk show association with Ridin podcast. Today I have special guests with me once again. I have Miss Paige Jones and Miss Leandria Wilson, and with another episode of Justice for Preston. Man, you know, like I said, when I brought the mother on here, that man, I will open the platform to those who are close to him, whether they're their family or friends. So, you know, we can get for those who don't know Preston and for those who know Preston, we can get every other experiences and know that we here not just to bring truth to the matter, but to also bring insight on who the young man is, the good times, whether bad times, and all from all the above and from all under, man. We just want to continue to keep his memory alive, not let one of those who are from our community, from our neighborhood, and who are an intricate part of our lives, just to fade into the hereafter without continuing to give him his blessings and give him his flowers. Because once again, this was a very intelligent, a very good person who was portrayed in an awful way. That was so many lies that's told, but you know, those of us who are sitting here today and who have been through the Justice for Preston on the Man Look podcast, we giving y'all the truth. You know what I'm saying? So, with all that being said, I'll start with you, Leandria. Can you share with us one of your favorite memories of your brother?
Explain to people who they are first.
Okay.
People that don't know.
Well, my bad. My bad. You know, you're right. My bad. Because I'm really trying to get into it.
You know, yeah.
These are Preston's sisters, man. You know what I'm saying? An older sister and a younger sister, right? Am I right? Right.
Yes,
Yeah. An older sister and a younger sister, man. You know, these are Yvonne's kids.
Yeah.
I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? So we've already had, you know, Yvonne and we had Bink on here. You know what I'm saying? So I brought the sisters, and maybe the next time, sometime next month, you know, we can get another friend. But for right now, I did want both of his sisters to have an opportunity to, you know, give us insight on the life of Preston Graham. You know what I'm saying? And just share intimate moments and, you know, intimate details and things of that nature that, you know, keep this brother name alive while we continue to push the negative out and bring in the positive in. So once again, Miss Wilson, what was some of your favorite and fondest memories of Preston?
Well, growing up, I was always his like go-to person because I listened to him a lot, and so whatever he had an interest in, I would support it, and I'll be right there to help him. Let's practice together. So when he got into the wanting to work on cars and stuff, I remember I had a black Impala, and he told me that he knew how to do brakes and stuff. I came down here and I needed my brakes done, and I was gonna take it to a car place, and he was like, "Yeah, I do my Buicks outside all the time. Let me do it." And so I'm, all right, you know, it's an Impala. I ain't worried about him messing this car up. So all right, shoot, go ahead. He outside, he doing it, and all right, I just gotta bleed the brakes, and then you should be good. And then next thing I hear him outside yelling. I go, look, this when he came in the house sweating, he thought, they not ready yet. And he talking about, you got something to do tomorrow? And I'm like, nah, but I'll leave it there for you. Just let me know when you fully done, because I'm not finna play around with you with the brakes. So I'll leave it out there. That next morning, we hear my mom come through the door hollering, mad. And we, what the heck? He didn't bleed him right, and my car was blocking her car in the driveway. So she tried to back it out and move it so she can go to work in the morning. She done flew all the way down the driveway, almost went into the neighbor's house across the street, had to hit the emergency brake and stop. She didn't know. She came in there hot at us. That was the first thing that he had ever done. And she was
my
mad.
God.
I said, oh, nah, you got to get that fixed before
Say,
I
boy,
get
I
on
already
the
know he
road.
going, man. She was hot like fire, man.
Boy,
But let him tell it though. He could work on cars. He got it. He got it.
Say,
He
man,
fixed it in the end.
trial
but,
by error,
it took
man.
it
Oh, my
took a trial by
gosh.
error. But that was the funniest thing he ever did. But we had plenty of them from here to out of town trips. That boy, he was just a prankster and like doing childish stuff. 'Cause he like being a kid. So we have so much from him messing himself up. He stayed in a boot because he always thought he could do something. Trying to slide down rails and stuff. He stayed hurting himself. But one thing I can say is if Poppy wanted to do something, he was going to try it. He ain't never had a fear or a doubt or I could do it. Watch. He was gonna try whether he broke some on himself or something else, but he was gonna try.
That's funny as heck, man. That is funny as heck, man.
That boy, man.
That is funny as heck.
That
I
got to be
ain't
the
lying.
best one. Nigga. We had my mama shook with that one.
And how about yourself, Paige? What was one of the funniest things or memorable moments you had with Poppy?
I don't have a specific, to be honest. A lot of the stuff Poppy did, I used to have no words for Poppy. You know, he just do stuff just to do it. He won't take no for an answer. He just gets in his head, and if he think he could do something, he do it. You know, and so I don't have a specific memory that that I could recall. I think every moment with Poppy was a good one. Yeah, you know, it was always a good one. I remember, you know, calling them to come to my house so that way he could eat. Hey, you want to eat this? I'm cooking this. Or, hey, Gigi's asking for you. You want to come over here? You know, I feel like all my memories with Poppy were good. I don't have a specific one that I could point out. Yeah, I think I like that boy. He kept me on my toes, that's for sure. So that I don't got a specific. I can't. All of them. All of them.
For Gigi, though.
Yeah.
When you first got pregnant, well, we was excited.
Yeah. That probably
We went to
Maybe.
big job right when we found out you was in
Yeah.
labor. We went to go take a shot.
Yeah.
He was, man, Paige finna have a baby.
Or you know what? Actually, whenever me and you told the family that we was pregnant at the same time, I still look at the video because it was Leandra and me on the side, and Poppy was right there, smiling big the whole
He
time.
already knew.
He was
Yeah.
excited.
He already knew.
Yeah, he had already
ready
knew.
for us to tell
Just
everybody.
tell
Yeah,
everybody.
but he was excited.
I could just imagine, man. I could
Yeah.
just imagine, man. That was funny.
Yes.
But that's what ripped me the most because we had so many plans. Like, man, we all got kids. We planned on doing this and that, taking trips. He was, my kid gonna be good. Why? They're gonna be better than you.
Yep.
Your kid gonna be bad.
Yeah, that was his favorite
Of all
line.
people, you think your kid gonna be the best?
Yep.
But we gonna see.
Oh, that's what's
Yeah,
up,
he used to
man.
always tell me
Look, my
that.
son gonna be good. What?
That's what's up.
Gigi bad, but my son, he gonna be good. I'm like, okay, you keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, he is all of them bad.
Yeah.
Kids
Yeah.
is something else,
Yeah,
man.
and when they get together, they horrible, all of them.
That's
So
funny
ain't
as
one
heck,
better than the other.
That's funny. Heck. I remember one time like doing the little rap thing when they was rapping. I didn't know he rapped, man. And I really got I just, you know, I was still kind of like not fresh from my accident, but like barely going outside because you know I wouldn't go outside. I would just stay in the house depressed and shit like.
Yeah.
And Nunu was like, man, Daddy, we finna go to one of my partners' video shoot, man. Come on, man, get in the car. Like, man, I remember that's why I still used to ride my little scooter thing, like the old folks. I used to still ride my little scooter. And we pulled up to what's them apartments over there off of Castores by
Them gas.
Gaslight Apartments.
Gaslight.
Yeah. We pulled up to Gaslight Apartments, man, and Poppy was out there. Of course, Nunu. I think Sachi was out there. The whole little crew. That whole little crew was out there, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just like I already know Poppy, but this is like my first time getting to meet some of the guys. You know what I'm saying? And man, you know they shooting the video. You know they doing their thing. And then Poppy came in and started rapping. I was fucked up. I was like, no, because he was nice. You know what I'm saying? And here come your mama, you know what I'm saying? Because I think I was recording it kind of live, you know what I'm saying? I was going live, and here come your mama. I'm like, we going back and forth. I'm like, I got him, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let these boys out here fail, you know what I'm saying? They doing this music, I got them, you know what I'm saying? But it caught me off guard, man, because, you know, like, no, we have our rappers in the city, and I won't take nothing from them. A lot of them are real good, you know what I'm saying? But it was just something about him. He was nice with it, you know what I'm saying? You always I always gravitate to those, to the, you know, the dudes who do music in our city that I feel like, man, if you just keep doing what you doing, bro, you can really be something. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of those, because that's one of the things that we would always talk about when I would see him. I'd be like, man, when you gonna make some more music, man? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. I'm just doing this right here, doing right there. But I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, you need to get back in the booth, dog, because you're really, really one of those ones. Like, you're really special with this. You know what I'm saying? And I always thought he was, man. You know, I still remember, man, Yvonne talking back and forth on the live. That's my son, you know. I'm like, yeah. She's like, Creel, you better look out for him. I'm like, baby, I got him. You know, I fuck with this music real tough. Yada, yada, yada. I ain't gonna let these boys fail out here. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just so caught up in the mix, man, with it, man. I was just like, man, he was really nice with it, man. You know, and that was like one of not like necessarily my fondest memory of him, because my fondest memories is him when he was little. You know what I'm saying? He would anytime I come out you know, cause we stayed across the street from each other on town. Anytime I come out the house, he's standing up in the seat with his head in the bun. You know what I'm saying? Quiet, just looking around, just ready to go. You know what I'm saying? He just ready to go. You know what I'm saying? He ain't fit to sit down. He fit to stand right up in the middle and ride, man. I was like, man, this little boy, he won't sit down for nothing, man. He gonna stand and watch everything. Nunu was the same way. Want to stand up and look at everything. You know what I'm saying? So those was like my fondest memories of watching y'all grow up. You know what I'm saying? As kids, man, and then to see where y'all at today. You know what I'm saying? Good people. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. But
And that's why that rapping stuff had to grow on to me, because as the big sister, like you know how when mom's not around because she got to work, you know, so it became my job to, you know, help raise them and take care of them. Yeah. So for me, it was, I've instilled in you all this stuff, but then I left off to college, so then I felt like he dropped his nuts a little bit, so that's where all that other, he started hanging out with his friends, trying to create his own identity, and then he came to me, I've been rapping, you know, and, okay, don't say no, my rap name is Stuck Almighty, but this is where he came up with it from, you know, because he got trained me. He had to break it down to me because he knew right away I was, come on now, bro. That ain't what we doing. Yeah. So when he came to me with that, at first I came in, you know, with the mama instincts and stuff. Okay, you already know. First you started with the one in the dreads. You're going to create a name for yourself. I'm letting you know it's going to create judgment, you know, off the bat, because you're a little black boy, you want to have dreads. Now you want to rap, you want to call yourself thug and all this. So he had good people in his ear, you know, along the way, instilling good stuff in them and everything. But you also have to let everybody walk their path. You know, learn.
No, most
and
definitely.
He's the one who taught me that a man's path is totally different from a girl's. Yeah. So no matter how much I would say stuff to him or tell him, this is what you should do and what you need to do, I could never fully understand his pressures. Yeah. And then I had to learn that his generation, they were starting that whole drill generation. So that's where it came from. They had to get money, have guns, you know, all that type of thing. So I had to just adapt and let him do his thing with his friends. And then when he would play his songs for me, I was like you. I was, you kind of do got something. You know, like, I ain't too fond of the topic and all, you know, what y'all talking about, but you good with putting the words together.
Put the words together.
So as he got to doing that, I started supporting him. He'd come, okay, I made this song, listen to it, tell me what you think, if I should change this, do this. Yeah. So then I started coaching him along the way. Okay, I think when you say this, you should say this type of tone, or like beat on this type. So I became that person for him. So even I see behind closed doors,
silent producer A&R, you know what I'm saying?
We got a record label.
I just know if I hear something, if it sounds good, you know. And he's the bullheaded. He gonna take your advice, but he's still gonna do what he feel at the end. So sometimes he'll put a song out and I'll be like, why you didn't do what I told you, bro? You still doing too
Yeah.
much. But he, nah, cause I know that sounds better. So I let him do his own path. But it had to grow on me with the rap part. But I could see that it didn't fully like, well, for me, I found out later other things. But like I feel like it didn't change him. Like it was just a facade.
Yeah.
And then he was still my pop.
Yeah.
So I let that go. But I didn't know that outside.
This is what I do, but this is not.
Yeah.
Most definitely,
So,
most definitely, man.
that helped me accept it and be like, okay, my brother, this is just a path that he's on right now because he's took plenty of them.
Yeah,
That boy from growing up, he went from wanting to build stuff, wanting to play any sport you could think of. He played basketball, football, tennis, soccer, skateboarding.
Yes, he did it all.
He wanted to learn
very
how to-
adventurous.
Yeah,
Yes.
architect build stuff, and then with my stepdad, you know how he would fix up cars
Yeah.
and sell them stuff. Then he got into liking cars and stuff, and that used to be our kind, because I kind of liked the cars too.
Yeah.
When I would see them come through, boy, when that Dub edition came out,
Yeah.
oh, we was fixing up all kind. Yeah, well, watch what I put on this one. Right? So we both got a niche for the car thing, and even to this day, I say I'm gonna give me an old school caddy. I'm gonna fix it up. That part of me still there. I can't take it out of me. But that he done went through a bunch of avenues, and then when the rap came, that one was. But I embraced it. He grew up.
That's one thing about, like, men and women. You know what I'm saying? We all like have our different struggles. You know what I'm saying? I'll never say a man's struggle is harder than a woman, or a woman's struggle is harder than a man. But it is tough. A young man coming into his own, man, because I'm kind of similar. You know what I'm saying? I do so many different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many different things. I get bored quick. You know what I'm saying? Once I, like, say for instance, carpentry. You know what I'm saying? I can build a house.
Yeah.
If I was just concentrating on building houses, ain't no telling where I would be.
Yeah.
But
You can focus on
once, it's not even necessary that, because I know how to build a house, I need to learn to do something else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know how to wire a house. You know what I'm saying? Do the electrical part of the house. Well, because I know how to put the electricity in and everything now, you know what I'm saying? I need to learn to do something else. You know what I'm saying? Then I know how to plumb the whole house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, with the plumbing, making sure what the pipes from the restroom to the kitchen, you know what I'm saying, to where they all come to the center pipe, the main pipe, and flow out into the city, you know, and go whichever way it's in. Well, now I need to learn something else. You know what I'm saying? That's how, man, as I am, until, like, you find, and I'm still like that to this day, man. It's what they call it, like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. You know what I'm saying? So I've never been able to, like, concentrate on one thing. You know what I'm saying? And just, like, put my all into it. Even when I started doing the clothes, man, when me and Jacob were doing real good, but I felt like we could do something else. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's a never ending story. So I know how his mind is, like, working in that sense. You know what I'm
You know
saying?
what they
Like,
label y'all as?
yeah.
80s.
Yeah. And it's probably true. You know what I'm saying?
Creativity.
You know what I'm saying? But, we're given a God-given talent to create. You know what I'm saying? You just got to lock in on one of these. He done already gave you the ability to create. Just lock in and master that, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's even at 53, that's the stage I'm in at right now. You know what I'm saying? Trying to lock in.
So it
on
never
one
goes
thing,
away.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of understand that. And then, too, what I understand is, like, the maturity of a woman, how it comes way up for men. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we try to get, like, technical, outside of, in a spiritual accent, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, or anything like that, outside of Jesus, which, they say he passed when he was 33, every time God, like, the prophets that we know and we have backgrounds of their life, they were 40 years old. Moses was 40 years old. Prophet Muhammad was 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? And they say, like, when a man hits 40, that's when he's reached his maturity, man. And it seems like a long time. It seems like a long time. You know what I'm saying? For a woman growing up, y'all already have vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Shoot, y'all already be with the dogs talking about y'all getting married. We ain't even trying to hear no shit like as a little boy. We probably ain't even into women yet. You know what I'm saying? But y'all already be locked in. So, and two, y'all see a lot of things that we don't see because we constantly move. And you know what I'm saying? That's why I tell dudes all the time, man. Listen to your woman, bro, because she see what you don't see. She know who around you shady. She know who not around you that's shady. She know who you can trust and she know who you can't trust. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's some areas in life that, you know, that she don't pay attention, that she don't see because she's similar to you. And that's where she takes your advice. So I already know, like, the advanced mind of a woman. You know what I'm saying? And during those times with Poppy, all you was really trying to do is just keep him focused. You know what I'm saying? Don't lose yourself in all these different type of things, you know, because it's easy to get lost, man. Look at what we dealing with today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard. Y'all remember how songs used to be like 7 minutes long? A good song be
You
down
get
to
one hook,
7
you're
minutes
one
long,
verse.
man. You know what I'm saying? Song be down to 7 minutes long. Today, the average song is like 1:45 seconds. Barely
Tells you a
2.
lot
2 minutes on a
And it's-
good day.
and
Keeping someone's attention.
And that shit is over with. You know what I'm saying? It's a song be like 2 minutes long, man. You know, when we were young, we'd be on the dance floor for one song for 5 minutes,
Make
man.
your
You know
smile
what I'm
look
saying?
long.
You
Don't
feel
let
what I'm
it be
saying?
a screw song.
For real, you know what I'm saying?
straight.
And that's how like society has like kind of dumbed itself down, and it's hard, and it's hard for these young men to be out here focusing. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't even be still for 1 to 2 minutes without trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? So I understand, man. Like I really get where you coming from, the sympathy and the mother part of you have for your brother, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes needs that RBS to the side. A lot of brothers still need that too, man.
And that came from just observing, because you know how your parents, they're working with the tools that they given. You know, They can just do parenting how they know. So when it came to my brother, if he didn't feel like, you know, my mom could fully understand what he was saying and stuff, I got Robert in me. I'm a talker, so I'm gonna sit there, talk and listen, lecture to the most. So I would just sit down with him and say, okay, well, let me hear what you got to say, you know, because that's really all he wanted from the beginning. Because a mama is just, because I see it, so what I say, you know. So he didn't really get that, and that's all he really wanted. So from when he was a little kid, I used to sit down and do that with him, and I learned that, okay, he not a bad kid. He just want to be heard. He just don't want to be blamed all the time just because he's a bad kid. You just automatically think, you know, he did it and stuff. So when I started doing that with him, I became his soft spot. For everything. If my mom couldn't get through, I was way up in college. She called me, you need to call your brother and talk to him, blah, because I was the only one who could do it. His friends, everybody, and it's all you got to do is listen to him. That's all he wanted. So as long as I did that along the way, any idea he had, anything he was worried about, I was, what is it, bro? No matter where I'm at, what I'm doing, and I just had to be that person for him. So even with the era that he was growing up in, he had me with the old soul still there, teaching him the other fundamentals. And when Bink was here talking to y'all, that's when it set into me that, he be listening. Because just the values that they would say about him, how he would treat his friends and all that. And I was like, okay, so he was watching and listening. Because he handled everybody with respect. He was just like me. I'm going to help you out, but you're going to hear what I got to say, though, so you don't make that mistake again. It was everything to the T, and I couldn't be more proud. I was like, regardless of how he had to step in that one period of his life as a man, you know, to get hit, that didn't over-trump, like, everything else that was good about Poppy. He had a lot of great characteristics, which other people have came on here and explained, you know, so really, I battled, like, I don't care what people think, or I'm not going to explain nothing to nobody. But then, like, as I saw them come on and talk and everything, it was important to me that, you know what, just because he had this upbringing, y'all can't just judge him, you know, on that, because really, that's a lot of people's story, you know, so just because you see that or he made a song about this or anything, so to y'all that really meant that, oh, he should have died, like, because he did something like that. And that's what used to eat at me. So I was like, I wanted to make it a point that let me go on here and tell them, you know, a lot of people have, especially if you were raised in poverty or, you know, your parents didn't have it all, people were just doing basically survival, you know. So, and when you come from a family with fast money, and it's something that I don't know if it's just what I observed from being in the life or whatever, but when you go from that and then say something like prison or something like that happens and you get out and got to start over, I've noticed that that'd be the biggest struggle for a man, like to go from all that money to you telling me I got to do the straight and narrow, I got to go try to get this chump change for nothing and do that'd be the biggest thing that'll make or break a man when he get out. If he ain't got the right people in his corner, if he ain't got the right tools, it's easy to go back to that. This is what I know, you know. So when it came to my brother, I've watched that with my dad, uncles, everything else. I already knew what he was going to face, and he was a young man. So straight out of that, I was, Poppy, you got to find, I know you have a lot of things you're interested in. You got to find a niche. You got to, the only way to get ahead, you see how life is going, the economy's getting bad. You got to have some way to make some permanent paper, like not just be on some back and forth. You got to get some kind of trade, some under your belt. So I just wanted people to know that he had that in his corner. He didn't come from just somebody who watching their family member, you know, be out here running reckless, and then not until something bad happened, then, oh my God, why that? Nah, we watched everything. We knew what was going on. He had people in his ear telling him, but at the end of the day, you're going to make your manly decisions. You know, I can't tell you how to feel when you back against the wall, everybody else talking about money in your face, you know, all this, and you trying to do chump change. Like, I just had to sympathize with him. Okay, well, what else can we find for you to do, you know, and support him. Okay, you is working at this BS piece of place or doing this, and you tell him, look how much my check is. Look at this. And then I got to just pay it all on this. And I'm, all right, bro, well, how about this? Put it all on that, and whatever else you need, bro, I'm going to just give it to you. Like, because I want you to know you got people in your corner. It don't got to be hard. And then on top of it, with that rap thing, you know, it creates an image. And then I didn't want him to feel like you got to keep that image of you thug and all this other stuff. I had to let him know anybody at any point in their life can change it. People ain't going to think less of you, because you ain't walking around toting a gun no more. People ain't going, you soft. None of that. Everybody's allowed to change their life and become a man later, you know, and people going to respect you for that. So I was in his ear. My mom was in his ear. We was doing all that. And he got into CDS school, you know, he started, you know, trying to come up with another path. But then when that came, that's when he learned that your actions always going to have a consequence.
Your
and
past mistakes catch up to you.
Once you get that F on your paper, it's stuck, and it make it hard. And that's what started discouraging to him. When he got that felony, that it made it hard.
One of the hardest things, like, a lot of people, like when you're dealing with, say you go to prison, you come out, and your homies doing what they doing, and you're right, man, it's hard for a man who's been getting a whole lot of money in the streets, and then he comes home, and now he got to do this, you know what I'm saying? I struggled with that, you know what I'm saying? But for me, what I had, one thing, when I went to prison, I said, I'm not coming home the same person that walked in here. I had made my mind up, like, for real. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing it for nobody, not for the mother of my children or nobody. I wasn't even doing it for my children. I was literally doing this for me. You know what I'm saying? I can literally say that, like, when I was in prison, I did my time the way I want to do it. I ain't emulate nobody. I ain't try to act hard in front of nobody. If you played with me, I showed you I wasn't the one to be played with. But for the most part, I did it the way I wanted to, because I didn't want to come home the same person. What made me just lock in on a job, I had in my mind, I worked 7 years for free. For free, I worked 7 years for free. 7 years, 3 months to be exact. For free, you know what I'm saying? I'm taking whoever say, hey, I got a job for you, I'm gonna go there. I don't care where y'all start me at. I'm gonna find out where can I go to, like within the job, how far I can go. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm reaching for. Cause I'm not accepting no cap where you can only make this much an hour. You know what I'm saying? It's not well, if that's all they making, I come from a certain lifestyle. In order for me to live that lifestyle, I got to get up the hill. You know what I'm saying? I still want the lifestyle, but I don't want to do the shit that get me back there. You know what I'm saying? Because man, I don't care what nobody say, man. The penitentiary is whack. I'm talking about that shit is whack. It's the worst place ever, man. I don't care. And I'm not saying like I didn't have good times, because you accumulate friendships, man. You know what I'm saying? You really do. You accumulate friendships with dudes that y'all become brothers. And when they touch down, they looking for you, man. They want to see how you doing. They want to see how your family doing. They sending you money. When they get up, they send it because you made an impression on them while they was in there. This happens to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made such an impression on certain individuals in there that they always check on me, and they've been out just as long as I've been out. You know what I'm saying? You do that, but even those good times can never add up to the bad times in there. And the bad times wasn't fighting nobody. You know what I'm saying? Or getting into an argument with an officer or some racist white dude, or one of the Mexican gang members or something like that, or even a black gang member. Those wasn't the worst times to me. The worst times for me was when it was time to rack up and the cell door closed. That was the most painful part of me, because I had a window right by the road. You can't see the road, but you hear cars going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Man, I used to want to be home so bad, man, that I would have dreams. This before we got the phones in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? Of getting to the phone and calling somebody, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in my dream, knowing that I'm dreaming. I'm trying to get to a phone to call somebody, man. I need to hear from somebody. Like, I would be that deep into my conscience, man. Like, I never say that I can't do it again, because I had already made peace with God. What would only bring me back. You know what I'm saying? That other shit I was doing, I'm never going back for that shit. Yeah. Just certain things in life that if I have to go back, that's what it's going to be for. You know what I'm saying? So once I made that type of peace, man, I knew that when I got out, I don't care what it is, just give me a job. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of brothers who get out, you know what I'm saying? They spend so much time in the penitentiary still thugging. Yeah. They spent their time in the penitentiary thugging. They wasn't learning nothing. They was reading novels instead of real shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They was still reading the books of the drug dealers, the fantasy. Look, man.
They was just passing time.
Look, man. Like these black authors, man. They got some hell of imaginations, man. They, you reading these books.
Out there, they finna be a king.
For real, man. They reading these books, right? You reading these books, right? Nigga done got out, ran up in the whole apartment complex, made everybody lay it down, and then everybody's nigga, that's fantasy. That's not real. You're not gonna get out and do that. But these niggas read that book and get that mentality. Like, I feel come out and get back in these streets, man. Look, bro. Get you something that's gonna clear your mind from all that, man. I man, the best thing that ever happened to me in prison was they gave me a job in the library. That was it.
Yeah, it was over.
It was over. It was over. It wasn't. Now, I read novels and stuff like that? Yeah, but I guarantee you, I read more real shit, biographies and stuff like that. Stuff on the races, you know what I'm saying? Stuff on black people, whether it was black Indians or some type of black history, European history. I'm just all over the place with this type of shit. In and out of encyclopedias, dictionaries, thesauruses. I'm just on this type. This is my wave. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not finna come out here the same dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the reasons why I survived. You know what I'm saying? And it really is hard for when you make a certain amount of money out here in these streets and you get out and then you got to do this. You know what I'm saying? You got to really get on the job. Brothers don't see the inroad to it. You know what I'm saying? When you go into that job, go in there and look for the cap. Go and look in there with the money that you need to make to live the lifestyle you want to live, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't just feel like, man, I gotta be a laborer. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't. No, you don't. Get in where you fit in. Go to the library, find out what's going on in this job. If you can't, go to the library. They got this book called like whatever for dummies. Plumbing for dummies, carpentry for dummies, screen printing for dummies. You know what I'm saying? All this type of stuff for dummies. And those books work, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So all they have to do is go to the library, pick up these books and just read it and read it and read it, bro. That's where you start.
They don't want to look like a dummy. That's the problem.
And go back to the job and share that type of knowledge with your foreman, with your supervisor. Like, nigga, you really know this shit. Now, you ain't worked on it, but you know it. You know it. They'd rather hear that shit come out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So it's simple, man. You don't have to let your job cap you out. You can go wherever you want to be. And that's some of the struggles in our life, dealing with dudes, you know, in and out. But kind of getting into the serious aspect of kind of why we're here also.
Excuse me.
Where were you on the day the situation happened?
I was at home in my bed trying to get my new baby to sleep. And then I got the call from my mom. Because right after the officer called her, she called me. So first answer, Leandra, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm in the bed just chilling. Why? She said, okay, the police, they just called me and they have your brother's house surrounded. And she said, and they're telling me that I can't go over there right now and they won't tell me anything. And she's like, what do I said, no, Mama, you got to go over there right now. First of all, forget what they telling you. That's your son. What's going on? Why did they say why they got this? She's, I don't know. They just won't tell me nothing. And I could hear it in her voice. I'm okay, Mama, just get over there. I'm finna call Paige right now, and don't worry, you're not gonna be by yourself. And she, okay. She hung up. I called Paige right away. I think she was in bed. And oh shoot. She get up and she headed right over there. And I'm up. Turned to my boyfriend, told him we had just talked to him earlier. He had just called and he was just rambling about regular stuff about his baby mama. He was worried about that kind of stuff, you know. And he wanted to talk to Jamal and he was giving him advice because his baby mama lived way in California. So he wrote, trust me, I know I got to do X, Y, and Z, you know, and it was a cool conversation. So when it came to that, I'm just thinking in my head, how I go from this morning to this? So at first it's not making sense to me. So I'm just trying to add up in my head, okay, why could people be, like, why could they have his house surrounded right now? Like, what he got done? I'm just racking my brain while they over there trying to let me know something. So Paige gets there. When she calls me, that's when the real panic and worry set in. Because from there, I could hear it. I could hear people all in the background. I could hear it in her voice. And I don't know, they got tape over here. They not letting people go over there. They won't tell us nothing. And the biggest part that ate at me is I have another sister, LaToya, my dad. She's my older sister. And she lives right there in his apartments. But she's like 2 buildings over or so, I say. So I call her. Well, yeah, let me backtrack. So after calling Paige to come over there, I called LaToya right away because she was right there in the apartments. So I was like, Toya, what are you doing? And she was like, girl, I'm out here looking at all the chaos going on. Something going on in the apartments, but they won't let nobody leave out their house and none of that stuff. And I'm like, well, that's over there for Poppy, bro. So I need you to go outside and see what's going on. And she was, what, Lynn? She said, oh my God, we heard shots earlier. And I was Toya, please don't tell me that, bro. And I'm just, can you please just try to go and see, because she's the first one right there. Can you see if they'll tell them you his sister, if you could just see something. So she go outside and she trying to talk to the officer. And they don't want nobody to go over there. They saying nobody can know nothing. That I don't know, sis. She said, well, I'm going to stay out here. She said, oh, your mom and them pulling up right now. So I was like, okay, let me call her. I hung up with Toya. And I just stayed on the phone with my mom and them the whole time. And that that I was in my closet because my nerves was just, I was literally in there just on the phone trying to listen, background, my mom, everything. Like, and part of me, I was like, somebody's going to be able, he's going to come outside. Maybe he in there scared. And people just yelling. And I'm like, Mama, why won't they let y'all go up? Why won't they let y'all go talk to my brother? You know, I didn't call this phone 50 times. And I know he'll answer me. And so at that moment, worry already set in. If he ain't called me, my mama, nothing in police here, my soul, I kind of already had that bad feeling because with anything else leading up to that, me or my mama the first people he gonna call. When he got pulled over for the stuff when he went to jail or anytime, he knows right away he'll FaceTime me or my mama and have the phone just sit there. So he don't play with police at all. He gonna call one of us, make sure somebody, you know, and that's how I know. I can hear him on the phone. He going, yes, sir, the officer, you know, all that in the situation. Because, like I said, he has people who's instilled with him. Regardless of what's going on in that situation, you ain't got to argue with them. You don't got to do none of that because you going to have your time later. Regardless what they doing there, you can go to the court, fight them. You let them have that moment at that time because you just got to get home, you know. So I know that we've told him that. He knows that. So for that situation, for them to be, nobody can go up there, and I already knew something's wrong with my brother because he didn't call, and there's no way he's going to just sit in there and do the things that y'all want us to believe that he did. So it started out with too much runaround. Like, they were asking my mom too many questions for me, like, and I'm like, so they didn't even know that it was his house, like, cause I'm listening, and they were asking her, well, whose house is it? Well, do you know if he has any other people up there with
who
him?
lives
and
with
who
him,
lives there? And I'm just like, so what got y'all to his house then? Like, if y'all are asking all of this, like, so y'all didn't even know who lived there? Y'all
They didn't do no research, no nothing before.
All these people outside and stuff, so it had me. And then they're asking about his car, and his car's right there. And they get to look at my mom, but no, man, why are you trying to look inside of it? Like, what does his car have to do with stuff? And so they just started out. So, like, we're grieving people here, and, you know, we're trying to figure out what's going on. And the way they were moving was just so aggressive and just cold-hearted. And my mom and them stayed out there, too, because it didn't make no sense. Like, we knew that they were BS pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get into when they brought him out, you know, and all that stuff, because it hurts my heart. But after that, we went in and we did our due diligence and stuff. So we ain't wait for them to come tell us something. I can tell you that. But that night, like, it was just like a big blur for me. Like, shit didn't even get real for me until after we got back from our trip and we had to go to that morgue. That's when it set in for me. But that day, since I wasn't here, I didn't come till the next day because I could hear on the phone, you know, what was I going to rush in the moment for, you know. So I came early that next morning. But that night, I literally just laid there just crying, till I just fell out. I don't remember when I went to sleep, but that was the worst night ever. Oh, that was the worst night ever. And then to not be here, like, my first thought was my mama.
Yeah.
That's all I could think about.
That was hard.
How about yourself? Where were you?
I was at home. I had newborn too. Our babies are a week apart. So yeah. So I was there at home. Playing. Yeah, putting baby to sleep, laying in bed when I got the call. It was actually, I remember so vividly. It was my brother-in-law. He called and he said, Paige, your sister told me to call you and ask if you can go to Poppy's apartment. She's on the phone with her sister and something's going on over there and she wants you to go check on Poppy. And so I said, okay, like, Poppy, that's all you had to say. I'm putting my coat, let's go. I go, and I'm trying to find whichever way, the fastest way to go. I go down past where the old Carol used to be, down Carol Lane, blocked off. So I'm like, dang, that's the fastest way to get, like, you know, I know where his apartment is. So I had to go all the way around to the front. I get to the front. I didn't see no lights or nothing at first. But when I'm pulling in to get to the back of the apartment, I seen an ambulance leaving. So, I'm thinking stuff, but I'm not thinking, too much. I pull in and I see my mama talking to one of the officers. And I see all these people around. So I roll my window down to a lady and I asked her, hey, ma'am, do you know what happened? I don't know. They just had everybody evacuate, something about some gunshots and stuff. So my heart started pumping, racing. I'm like, oh. So my mama parks, I park. And my mama's looking at me like, when you get here? And I said, Nani called me. I just came. I'm here. What we got to do? We walk up, yellow tape blocking off everything. Officer Perez, I'll never forget her name. She walked up and my mama told her, we're the family. Are y'all going to tell us something? Like, what's going on? That's my son's apartment. What are y'all doing? And, well, we'll talk to you in a minute. And who lives here? And just questioning. Who lives here? Does he live by himself? What does he drive? Any kids in there? Does he live with a girlfriend? Just the works. All these questions. I was confused. My mama was confused. We was just like, what's going on? What's going on? And shocked. And they had the SWAT out there with the guns and stuff. And I remember vividly, I asked her, I said, I just saw an ambulance leave. Y'all at his apartment, do one of us need to stay? Do one of us need to go? And she looked at me in my face and she said, no, we'll get back to y'all in a minute and talk to y'all. Like, just nonchalant, nothing. So me and my mama, we, in a time like that, you just feel hopeless, helpless. They not giving you no answers. You don't know what's going on. We calling his phone. He's not answering. If he don't answer Yvonne, he don't answer Leandra, he gonna answer Paige, or vice versa. He's gonna answer one of these girls. But nope, no answer, no nothing. By this time, people showing up, crowds of people. His daddy's family, friend, people I ain't seen in years showing up. Hey, Chronica said that, a black male was deceased or a male was deceased, the shots and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
and I heard that.
What?
No, we're not finna claim
Yeah,
that.
I'm
They
like,
just
wait.
they just post stuff down. They don't even be knowing
Yeah.
stuff yet. So we didn't want to hear that.
No, I was like, wait, what? But still, they just giving us the runaround. Finally, after, I don't know. And to me, it felt like 30 minutes, but it was probably hours. Poppy's daddy finally said, I remember, he said, no, Yvonne, something ain't right. He said, if Poppy did what they saying that he did, he would have been in the back of the police car already. They did something to our son. And my mama lost it. She went up there. Y'all gonna tell me what happened to my son. Y'all gonna tell me what happened. And the lady said, let me go take you over there and I'll explain to y'all. So they pulled me and my mama and them to the side. And the lady, some BS story about they received a domestic disturbance call or something like that. And when they got to the apartment, he opened the door and said some BS and they shot. And then he retreated back into the apartment and they had to send in some drones or something and they located him. Yeah, and that when she told me that, me and my mama just lost it. We lost
That's
it.
when I fell out on the
Well,
phone when
no,
she
you
said-
wasn't on the phone. I called you. The whole time I was on the phone with Leandra, and when the lady pulled us to the side, I didn't want her to hear
Hung
that.
up.
She way in Houston. I said, Leandra, let me call you back. The lady gonna talk to us. And the lady told us that. First thing I did, I walked off and I called my sister and I said, Nani? And she said,
remember
what?
they shot.
And I said, Nani, they killed our brother. She said, what? And I said, yeah. And I mean, in the moment, it hadn't sunk in because I'm like, wait, what? Poppy just called me at 1:23 on my lunch break at work. Poppy just called me and was going on and on and on about God knows what, Poppy being Poppy. And the last thing I told my brother was, boy, get off my phone playing. I'll talk to you later. Bye. And he told me, all right, bye. And that was the last thing I said to him. So now y'all telling me
My last
that-
conversation.
that was my last conversation with my brother?
Mine's too. He called me and I ain't answering. He was on the phone with Jamal. I called him back and I ain't trying to talk to you. I'm talking
Yeah.
to Jamal. And I was like, well, fine, nigga, I don't care. And I hung up. And I'm like, bruh, y'all not finna tell me that's the last conversation I had with my brother? I ain't trying to talk to you.
Yeah, and it didn't feel real. It didn't set in,
Yeah,
and I'm
everything
looking
was just
around and I'm
floating.
seeing all these people like crying, and I see my mama and I'm hugging my mama, but it's still not clicking to me. You know, it's not clicking to me that my brother's gone, because ain't no way. I just talked to him. I just talked to him.
A part of me still wanted to be like, nah,
Yeah.
he gonna pop up. Like, nah, this ain't true.
Yeah.
It's-
It didn't
That
click
whole
to
time, it didn't get real for me until
Nope.
I seen it.
Nope.
And I didn't want to believe it.
Nope.
And then that whole, it's under investigation, so we got no choice but to. We just at home, like, we can't see him, we can't know nothing. And we had a family trip that was coming up in just a couple of days from there. So we sitting here, well, we not already paid for all this stuff. What we gonna do? Well, maybe it'll be good to, still get together as a family. We still went out there on the family trip, and that was the most dullest, like,
Trip,
you could just feel the hurt in the air. Everybody was just there to keep each other together, basically, and watch over my mom. That was the worst. And I don't want to say the worst family trip, but
it was missing. It was
not
not the same. It was definitely
horrible.
missing a present. It was.
And then that drive coming back home it's like we knew we were finna go
Face it.
face it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as we got home and they called my mom, it was like, okay, they're gonna release him. And that day is harder than the initial day when stuff happened. Because when we went to that place, that's when it became real for me. And
Yeah. Yeah.
when my mom walked back there, my Uncle Juggy went with her. And she was the first one to went in to finally see her. And hearing my mom from that back room just, I can't even explain it. Like, I just felt everything in me that was the worst scream out I'd ever heard.
Yeah.
And then you feel so helpless because it's your mama. And you know what she's feeling. But what can you do or say? And then when okay, y'all can go next. I can't even, a whole bunch of emotions. I felt helpless, like I let him down, like just looking at his face there, it's like I felt robbed. A lot of emotions went at that one time, and all I can do is kiss his forehead and just keep saying, I'm so sorry, Papi. I'm so sorry. Because I knew just at the pivotal point he was in his life, I was so ready for him to feel that other side, start making money. Being that dad, he wanted to be everything. And you telling me in this moment, he is all over. He's just gone. And looking at him there cold, that was, at that moment, I wish CCPD just knew off of making that one wrong, I don't even know what to call it, just horrible
reaction.
Reactive decision of what they really robbed from us. And that day, I've blocked out all of those details ever since because it take you to a place that it took me and my mom a minute to even dig from. We would be on the phone with each other, me, her, and Paige, just, did you try to eat something today? It really threw off our whole, that's all we knew was me, her, Paige. Like, we was tight-knit to where we calling, we know who got appointments coming up, what's going on with the kid. Like, we every day talking to each other and stuff. So this threw off our whole routine, especially my mom, because she's that type of mama. She's active. She's calling us daily. She's talking. She's on Papi. It's this time. He should be at work by now. All of that. So her whole groove is just thrown off because all she knows is her kids. And for us, that helped us mask our pain by just focus on making sure our mama is good. Yeah. So we could suppress how we was feeling to just make sure she was okay. So Paige was here with her so she could calm me. I called. I told Mama to come over for dinner, and she just want to be alone. She doing this. Okay, we're gonna give her till tomorrow, but she can't just sit in the house, So we had to stay diligent on watching her because really, her baby boy, that was a parent don't got favoritism, but that mother and son thing is. We already knew, and we accepted it because she was gonna bend backwards for her poppy, and that took a toll. It still does, but she's gotten better. But that's what helped us, making sure that our mom was okay, so I didn't have to think about my own hurt,
Yep.
Dang,
Yeah.
Like it really took a lot out of us.
Yeah. I think what hit me the most was that night, whenever we were there, that we stayed out there till probably like 6 a.m. They had the big lights flashing where we couldn't see them up there at the apartment, bringing them down. Well, when the morgue van got there, they pulled all the way up on the grass over the curb, all the way back. And they was just going to put my brother in there and drive off. And then my mama stopped them. Wait. Are y'all going to let me see him? And some tall lady, she said, no. They already have him in the back. And I told her, ma'am, I don't care what you do. Let her see him. I don't got to see him. None of these people behind me got to see him. Let her see him. And the lady said, well, I will have to talk to, do what you got to do and go talk to that man and let my mama see her son. So they let her back there. I don't think they, let her physically see him. But she put her hands on him and she said she prayed over him and it started raining. But that's what got me is y'all just killed her son. And y'all was just going to throw him in a body bag, throw him in the truck and burn off like it was nothing. Like he was nothing. That's not right. That's not right. Nope. But that just goes to show it ain't they people. It ain't they family. It ain't nobody they know. They don't care.
They get to live another day. Yep. They get to be with their loved ones. They get to go. They get to enjoy the rest of their life. People do not give a damn.
Then they don't. They don't.
Showed us that.
They
see it all the time.
I've never even been one of those types to just F the police and all that. Because I grew up seeing both sides, and I went to college and all that. I believe in the better of stuff. Not all cops are bad. All of that, but the way that this was just carried out, I can't even say that, CCPD, if we didn't do our own due diligence, I was over here so naive to it. I'm like, okay, they're saying it's under investigation. To me, I'm thinking that means, they backtracking, calling, trying to see, what led up to this, trying to see who he last talked to, traces the, all of that. Investigation didn't mean none of that for them.
Trying to throw it under the rug.
We did the work.
Yeah, investigation was them trying to cover their own stuff. And I found that out because we did the investigating. Because we are not that type. We wasn't going to sit back and just...
Yeah, we going to take what they said for an answer.
My mama and Preston was going down there to the police station, steady eye and stuff, and they get them in cold shoulders. Well, all we can tell you is this, all we can do... Okay, y'all telling us how it's going to go. So we took it upon ourselves. Shoot, first thing, my mama went to the phone place. They took his phone, and they tried to go in there a couple days later and leave a paper on his bar for, to search and seizure, and saying the things that they took and all that. But that night, my mom and them had already went in there, looked around it, trying to get you, because he had a camera that was right there on his bar area from his kitchen, that ain't right at his door and everything. So that was right in our head. Oh, get in there and get his camera. We're going to see what happened. We go in there. It was unplugged. It was slinged across the floor or something, over in his living room and stuff, unplugged and everything. And so that was step one. And my mom asked them about that. And they were like, oh, there was no footage on there. It wasn't plugged. They tried to tell us all this. But we already had talked to somebody, and they said that, oh, yeah, when I was there earlier with him, the light was on it. So that was strike one. And so we did all that. Once my mom went and got his, because he had an old phone at the house, so she just went to the phone place and had him switch his stuff over to his old phone so that we can try to do some kind of due diligence. It wouldn't have showed, all the last recent stuff, but it backed up enough for us to, try to retrace. So we called people, whoever he was last with, who he last spoke with, all that. Paige and the lawyer dude, Roger, they went around at the apartment and went and talked
to all the neighbors
the neighbors
around.
and stuff and asked. So we did our own investigation because y'all wasn't gonna just.
Yeah, it
Like
wasn't
what y'all
making
are telling
sense.
us on this news, like that my brother did this. Like,
Yes.
if you want me to believe something like that, then I just need to see. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just say, nah, you lying just without no receipts. But like, if you want me to believe something this drastic, at least just make it believable for me.
Yeah.
You know, as the family member, if you can lay out X, Y, and Z, okay, I have no choice but to say,
accept it.
okay, dang, maybe some, I don't know what went on with him. Maybe he just snapped, you know, something. But along the way, I never felt reassured about that. So I knew for a fact my brother couldn't have did what y'all said, just based off of what we gathered. They went and talked to the neighbor who's supposed to make the call. She said that she did call, but she did like a wellness check. But when she called, they told her, "Oh, we already have a call."
Yeah, there was already a call
They're
like that,
in,
so they were already en route.
en route. But all the stuff that y'all give my mom and stuff, there's just the call from the one lady. So who was the other call person? And then they're telling her, "Oh, there was no other call." The lady said herself that that's what y'all told her. But then at the end, that wasn't true. And then we're talking to the people who, you know, last spoke with them and everything. And one person, he did call them before all of that was going on. And he told them, "Get over here. You know, that I think somebody for trying to come over here, you know, and do something or whatever." So I had already got it proved for my own self that, yes, he thought somebody was coming to do something to him. He didn't know that would have been police out there. And so whenever the day came for us to go, you know, and clean out his apartment and all that, that's the only thing that helped my heart get through that, going into that apartment, was I'm going in and like CSI investigation mind.
no women, boy.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it make sense to me.
Yeah, no
So I'm going in there, I'm looking at where shots is going, I'm looking at where blood
The
is put.
bullets
I'm numbing it all in, and I'm trying to, what happened with my brother this day? So that's what was driving my mind, and it's no way. And so what I gathered, why would they call for a noise complaint? He had 2x4s and stuff in there. He had got into doing like saltwater fish. He had 2 clownfish.
Yeah.
And so that was his new thing, trying to learn how to run a saltwater
had the
tank
system
and
and
all
all
that
that.
stuff. And he had just bought this fish tank. He had came down there to Houston to get it because I showed him about marketplace and stuff. He gets stuff cheap. He came down there and got a fish tank, and he didn't want to buy a frame for it, so he was building one. And so right away in my head, I'm seeing the pole, you know, and that kind of stuff. I'm like, he's probably up here music loud, probably was banging on shit and doing something to get these people to probably call on him when it wasn't that deep. And that was my mama's biggest regret. Like, I shouldn't have made him move out, because at home we know he always building something, he always doing something, you know, we ain't tripping about it. But now you over here and you're on a second floor, you know, you got to be courteous to other people. But Poppy don't care. He the type, I pay to live here just like them. So they better mind their business like I minded mine. And who would have thought that would lead to this mishap? And I'm looking, he don't have a peephole on his door. So to see, he got to open it to see
who's there.
So I'm thinking he in there probably got music going or something to where he don't hear these people, or if they just aggressive or something, he probably, because he was already going back and forth with the person on the phone or whatever arguing. So he already was in that riled up mood. I truly believe he thought, okay, they on there, they over here. I'm finna
She
show them
sent
this
somebody
time.
over here.
Because he did already report of them kicking his door down, you know, all that. He told me about it.
Yeah,
We seen
he
the
told me
paper, all
too.
that. So I'm thinking in his head, all right, they gonna see this time. So he going into that, not even thinking, and it was a bad decision. And so from facing that first, then I switched to okay, even though that happened, that's not to say that their actions was completely justified. Yeah. So then I started looking at, okay, well, so what that he did that, like, yeah, he shouldn't open the door, and that was a big mistake. That's what everybody, kept saying, well, he had that gun, and he said, like, okay, yes, we understand, and yes, he did that, but look at all these other hundreds of cases of people having a gun in a police's face. Why did my brothers have to go the way that it did? And then for other cases to come out after his, and y'all are able to de-escalate people, take them in. They could shoot at you and you still apprehend them. Like, why did my brothers have to go so aggressive? And then for whatever the call is y'all are saying, that seemed real excessive. So from there, there's nothing y'all can tell me. And then once my mom got all the stuff back, it was just, you can just tell. Y'all blatantly went into that, probably going off of what whoever that first phone call was, whatever they told y'all, and y'all just reacted, and that's not right.
Y'all already had it on y'all mind what y'all was gonna do.
Yeah.
Y'all
Before getting no facts, no. And then what kills me is his son is on his lease. And before that, he was trying to get his son down here. I was even considering, because I work from home, I was like, maybe if I bring him down there, because his only problem was, but when I'm at work, who gonna watch him? And so I was even trying to think of, okay, if I stay at mama's house and I just watch him, then he go over there with you, once you get off and all that. In my head, I was like, if my brother's son would have been there and they just did that, they didn't ask nothing, they didn't do nothing. And that was the biggest thing on my heart. Like, if his baby would have been in there, we would have caught fire on y'all. Like,
well, that was one of my questions too. Like, I just kept telling my mama, they did all that shooting and all of that prior, but when we got there, then y'all want to ask, well, who lives here? Who is it? A woman that lives here? Do he have kids? But y'all already shot it up.
Yeah, y'all know.
So if I would have told
Spray
you,
the whole
yeah, he has a son and a wife or whatever in there, what was y'all gonna do? Because y'all already shot it up. Y'all didn't do y'all research before. If you would have did your research before, you would have known that he lived by himself. He has his son on the lease. No, y'all just blatantly went in and seen tall, big black guy open the door, just so happened to have a gun in his hand. And the little boy who responded to the call, little white boy, you scared. You see this black boy? Oh, first thing I'm going to do, he got to go before I do.
First reaction.
That's how I see it.
And that can't be how they train.
Yep. I'm going to shoot you before you shoot me. But if his son had been there, if somebody else had been there.
See, I ain't even know that part. You know what I'm saying about his son. Man, that's deep. Son on the lease, and the possibility of what if he was there, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all blatantly shot up this home, man, without even knowing who's in the house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shots were going through the neighbor's wall, everything.
Yeah, y'all had SWAT set up. After he retreated back in, y'all didn't know who was in there. Y'all called for backup. Y'all shooting from left and right. And again, y'all don't know who's inside. But y'all want to question the family when we get there, who lives there. You should have known. You tell me who lives at that apartment since CCPD. Since you done already did what y'all did. That's what blows my mind. Is y'all did all of that and still have to question the family.
Month for investigation, aka cover their own tracks.
Yeah.
And that's all
Nothing was
that
investigated.
That's all that was.
Yeah.
I pray too, man. Like, I never go through the same thing, man, because in the heart of my heart, man, I don't think I'll be able to live it down, man. Like just me being a man, you know what I'm saying? Like, and where we from, I know my mentality, man. Like,
Some blood for that.
yeah, and I wouldn't even care who it is. That's y'all. Y'all wear the same uniform. Y'all family. Y'all just took one of my family, so it wouldn't. I wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? I already know what's coming with it. I'm willing to go through whatever that come with it, man. I'm not accepting that. You know what I'm saying? Especially like hearing y'all story, Trey's story, y'all mama's story, man. Like I'm even like kind of like more mad. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, a lot of us know this brother. How y'all try to portray him in this type of temperament, man, that ain't even this dude, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And y'all didn't do, like you were saying, how y'all did y'all due diligence. y'all didn't do y'all due diligence prior to getting there, man. All this information was supposed to be known the minute y'all pulled up to that apartment. Who stays there? Y'all should have went to the rent office, got all the information that y'all was supposed to get before, all these different type of things, man. There's so many, like, unchecked boxes with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, unchecked boxes. Like, no, nigga, y'all just really just did what y'all want to do. It seemed like y'all already had it on y'all mind just off a phone call. This is how we got to go in. And then, you talking, and everything you're saying, like, I'm trying to picture it in my head, the actual things that is taking place as far as, like, he's probably upstairs hammering the nail, trying to fix, get this stuff together. Neighbors downstairs, they thinking some wild shit going on upstairs like that. They don't really know what's going on. In a panic, these motherfuckers call police. This is stuff going on. It's a lot of banging and stuff like that. And police get this call. They done took her story, done juiced it up, or whoever's called, they done juiced up the story. And now the police, they already on 10. They don't know how to be civilian. Or to think civilized, you know what I'm saying? To me, they're like the biggest gang in the fucking world, you know what I'm saying? They don't know how to be civilized because one thing I do know about the police, y'all are just like any other group of people. Y'all gonna stick together. Y'all gonna cover each other's tracks. The police that do come forward and stuff like that, y'all blackball them, y'all get them off the police force, and they're nobody now.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all make examples of them so nobody else will do that. This is what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Just like any other family, you know what I'm saying? You go against the family, we don't fuck with you no more, you know what I'm saying? We'll get your way, So I know, you know what I'm saying, the way y'all move, the way and things. And the thing about y'all, this has been going on for hundreds of years. This ain't something that just recently happened when it comes to dealing with us. Y'all been doing this for hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? Since the first cop. You know what I'm saying? After the first runaway slave, y'all been doing this for years when it come to our people, man. So it's really, really, really like a effed up situation, man.
And when people try to use that whole, well, all cops aren't bad, or, well, if you don't do something to make the police, look at you, then you shouldn't have a problem. But I use myself as an example. I've lived by the straight and narrow, even when I was in college or even out here. Police have harassed me too. So what can you say about that? Like, when I used to live here in high school, if I was driving one of my family's cars or something, I done been followed by black cars. Whenever I first started driving the Buick that Poppy had, I first took it to college in San Antonio. And boy, being in a Buick, I got pulled over for no reason. They try to say, I rode through a stop sign, or you went 3 miles over the speed limit, and they just trying to stop to see if, this is a nigga in a Buick. I'm going to see if I might get lucky off of it. So I told him that too when I brought that car back. You going to be a target in this car. I'm letting you know. You're going to be a black person in a Buick. They going to stop just to see if they going to get lucky off of you. And he used to be, man, nah, you tripping. I'm telling you what I know. I got no reason to give them. I'm a college student, young black female, papers clean, everything. And they stopping me just to see. And then I'm going to give you a warning and I'm going to let you go. You ain't got no choice but to give me a warning. And I know I wasn't doing nothing. So I learned early on, too, like, they'll mess with you for no reason.
And you know what? Today, like, my sons always tell me, like, Dad, you gotta put some tint on your car. I'm not putting no tint on my car.
That's another reason they gonna tell you
I'm a
that.
glass house all the time. You got to see me. You got to see me when you. I'm not giving you the opportunity behind tint, and I crack my window. You already got your gun drawn on me and all this type of stuff, and you just see the light sparkle off the tent and just start firing off on the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because
and that's sad that you do that.
Because they make it so easy for y'all to make shit that y'all do justifiable. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have whatever protocol y'all have. Y'all can go over that. You know what I'm saying? And still, the system will find a way to make it justifiable, man. Y'all, just like,
And that's why I preached to him what I did, regardless in that situation. If you right, wrong, whatever, let them people have it. You can argue that later.
Yes, ma'am.
And you get home a lot. And I know it sucks to have to do that or not be able to express yourself, but it's like you said, they're a gang. It's you against all of them. So what you gonna do?
And as sad as it really is, this is the life of being born black, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Especially here in America, man. You know what I'm saying? Out the womb, we're already stigmatized. You know what I'm saying? From you know, I just remember, you know, just going to school and teachers are already picking on me. You don't even know me, man. But you already have the stigmatism about what a black person is, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't go to Winsell or Driscoll. I went to House and Hamlin. And just by teachers dealing with me, you know what I'm saying? You just don't like black people, or you don't pick this one, you know, these black kids over here from the South Side, but these ones that's coming out of Hillcrest and North Side Mountain and the projects that's coming out of school here, you already got
Stigma.
Yeah, they associate them all together.
You know what I'm saying? So I was telling my partner, I was like, I got put in ISS on the first day of school for not having my nigga. We poor nigga. I didn't have no. That day I didn't have no school supplies. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have nothing. I just went to. I made it to school.
Yeah, I was
You know
here.
what I'm saying? And just by the lady was like, get your pencils and stuff out. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting at the table. You know what I'm saying? At my desk, I ain't even have no pencils or no paper, nothing like that. And she's like, where's your pencil or paper? I said, I don't have none. She said, oh, you one of those. You know what I'm saying? And that riled me up. I was like, what do you mean one of those? So we started going back first day of school. I'm in SSI, man, and they ain't did shit. You know, so I already know the mentality of what it is, especially to be a young black male. You know what I'm saying? In this country, man, from fresh out the womb, man, we already got a bullet on back, especially if you come from the inner city. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and even those that come from like the good side of town, something, you still a nigga, bro. No matter what, no matter how proper you try to talk, no matter how clean you try to dress, man, there's the white kids in that school that feel like you're a nigga. Their parents feel like you're a nigga, and them teachers feel like you're a nigga, man. You know what I'm saying?
If you don't believe it, make them mad. That word gonna come out so quick.
And one thing that I like to say is that, man, you're right, man. You're right. You get pulled over, man. Let them have it, bro. Let them have it, man. Let them have it, because at the end of the day, our job is to get back home, man. Yeah. It really is, and I know how you be feeling like, man, why I gotta be like this? You know what I'm saying? You know what, bro? Let's. I always tell, this is one of my favorite things, bro. Get out your head and deal with what reality is, man. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much we hate it, how much we wish it would change, this is the reality of a thing, and nothing ever gets better. Only thing, shit gets prettier. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have cell phones, you know what I'm saying, at one point. Now we have cell phones. But look how much trouble the shit caused. You know what I'm saying? It only gets prettier. Things get worse, bro. So you think the system ain't gonna get worse as it is? So understand, accept reality for what it is. That way you know how to move in it. You so right, man. You so right, man. Your ass get pulled over, man. Deal with it, man. You know, get home. Bottom line is get home, man, because you already got an X on your back, man. I don't care if you're rich or you're poor, man. You got an X on your back if you're black, man, and that's just what it is.
It go to the courts too, because I just remembered once an officer, I was in like high school, and my dad had got me my first car, and so the insurance and all that was in his name. And I remember I was just learning like how to drive, so I was in the downtowns, and I wasn't familiar with the one-ways and stuff. And so I think I drove through one. I think I was going the wrong way, and a police officer pulled me over, and like right away he was just being snappy and being rude, and I didn't give him no reason, and he was just, where's your license and registration? He was, you didn't see me freaking behind you, bro. And I was like, yeah, but I was just trying to get to, you know, a good spot to stop, and he was, you don't decide when you want to stop and all this, and I was like, I thought we were supposed to get to somewhere safe, but okay, like you could just tell he had attitude. I was jumped. So then he comes back, and then on the ticket, he didn't put, you know, the driving the wrong way, and he put no insurance. And so I'm looking, I'm like, wait, sir, why it say no insurance? And he said, because your name isn't on the insurance. It says Robert Wilson. And I said, yeah, but that's my dad, and the car says that too, so that it is insured. And he was like, no, because what your dad's trying to do, he's trying to be a cheap ass, and he doesn't want to put your name on there so he doesn't have to pay. And I'm just like, well, what that got to do with the car having insurance. But like at that time, I was like, you know, you got it, cause I could tell how you talking to me. I wasn't even finna take it there, so I was like, okay, sir. So anything else, you know, whatever. I took the ticket, and I already knew what I can do. The next day, I went down to the courthouse, went in there, told them about it. All they asked me is, do you have the insurance or whatever? They call it, verify, whatever. And so they dropped the ticket and stuff. But that wasn't enough for me. I'm like, but what about this man? I'm in here, like, he was talking to me crazy. But I'm thinking they on my
Like,
side.
what you gonna
they
do
wanna
about
know.
him?
Yeah, I'm trying to get him in trouble. And the judge is just like, next, ma'am. Like, so what?
Because they used
like,
to it already.
She
That's
said,
what
well,
they do.
I dismissed it off of there, so what else you need? Like, and I'm like, well, dang. So that's how I found out in high school. I'm like, oh, well, nobody cared. They just out here acting crazy. So I knew from there. I said, yeah, I'm gonna let them have it. And I made sure my hot-headed brother was gonna know
Me
that,
too.
and I don't give them people a reason.
Yep.
They out here riding angry, bro.
That's just how they is. It seems like as soon as they see one of us, they just get on 10 automatically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they a team too.
Yeah.
I was like,
They a
dang, the
team.
judge didn't even care. She just
No.
bye.
I remember like I had got a it's crazy when I was in prison. They sent me a letter in prison for my tickets. For my tickets.
What the heck?
So now there's some time
They
served.
said, yeah.
Say, well, you already in here. Might as well.
And look, I wrote them back. I said, man, I'm in prison. I've been in here for such and such years already. There's no way I could pay them tickets, right? I get out, right? I wind up getting another ticket. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, and I had got my driver's license. Man, I'm like, nah, I need my license, man. So I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna take care of this, right? Going to the court, going to the down, well, you know, where you do your tickets and shit at. I go in there, get in front of the judge. She read out like $2,200, maybe $2,500 worth of tickets, right? And I said, can I get time served, you know, for the tickets? I just did such and such time, and I wrote y'all a letter, you know what I'm saying? Stopped what's name, went and got the file, and the letter was in the file, man. And she came back, she said, you know what? If this letter, and she was being a B the whole time, you know what I'm saying? Even after during saying it, you know what I'm saying? She's like, you know, if this letter wasn't in here, I was gonna make sure you pay for all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even when you try to do what's right,
It's not good enough for them.
it's never good
Never.
enough. It's never good enough. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always like this. If you don't like your job that much, if you hate dealing with what's going on in your job, go get another job.
Because you know what it is? It's not that they hate their job. They hate see us coming.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They don't hate their job. They like their job because they get to talk to us colored people however they want.
And flex their authority and flex their power, man.
Yep,
But
and they
you
got
know,
power.
If they seen you in the middle of the streets, or if y'all bumped shoulders and what's name, they wouldn't say a word, man. They wouldn't say a word. I used to say that to the prison guard so much. I was like, boy, y'all really tough with this uniform on. Y'all wouldn't even speak to none of us. Y'all walk by us with y'all face to the ground. If y'all ever ran into us outside these walls, man. That's why and you know what? They really don't have no life. They really have to stick in that circle. You know what I'm saying? Y'all really don't have no life. You know what I'm saying? When y'all take trips and shit, y'all can't even do nothing in the city outside of your house. You have to go out of town or go do something like that. Y'all really don't, and that ain't no way to live. I would never want a job that'll confine me to my home because I don't know how to treat people. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how they are. Okay, being that all this stuff done happen, you know what I'm saying? The misconceptions, you know what I'm saying? The lies and everything to be told, but more importantly, the loss of y'all brother. Have anybody, you know, how do y'all cope as a family, or have anybody seek therapy or anything like that, or you just, like you were saying, you know, at one point you just had to numb yourself so you can do your investigation properly, you know what I'm saying, and to be there to your mother. Now that, like, everything's kind of getting back into motion, you know what I'm saying, how do y'all heal as a family, or self-heal, or anybody seeking any therapy or anything like that?
Therapy, no, per se. I think my therapy is my mom. You know, I feel like it's just here, like in town, it's just me and her. And Poppy kept her busy. Poppy kept her busy. You know what I mean? She was always checking on him. She knew where he was, what time, all that. But now that Poppy's gone, I feel like she just goes with the flow. You know, some days she don't want to do nothing. Some days I won't hear from her, and I have to pop up on her. I have to check on her. I feel like that's my job. That's my second job. You know what I mean? Aside from going to work and, you know, and taking care of my kids, I have to watch her. I constantly have to watch her. And it's not because, you know, I'm scared she's going to do something, but I got to make sure my mama's good. You know what I mean? Local is just me and her. Yeah. You know what I mean? She lives, you know, she's there by herself. I got to make sure she stays busy. So have I personally coped? No. I haven't even fully accepted it, if we being honest. You know what I mean? And I don't think I ever will. You know, that's just a void, and that's always going to be a hole in my heart, because when my brother left, he took my heart, you know, some of my heart with him, you know. But I feel like having my mama here, me watching her, keeping her busy. Hey, you want to go do this? Hey, come over here. I cook. Sometimes, sorry, mama, I even lie. I tell her, hey, Gigi's asking for you. The girls are asking for you. They calling grandma. They want you to come over here just to get her out the house. Yeah. You know, because I feel like with a loss like this, especially when you don't have no answers and stuff like that, that will mentally mess you up. That will eat you alive. You know, you sit there in your thoughts constantly. You know, and I know because I do it when I'm by myself. That whole night leading up to my brother's service, it's like a record. It replays over and over in my head. So, and that's just me as a sister. So I could only imagine as a parent, you know? So I feel like having to watch her and make sure she's always good and try to keep her busy, that's a form of me coping, you know, not accepting it fully, but my mama was Poppy world, aside from, you know, us and his kids. But you wouldn't go mess with my mama when it came to Poppy. So I feel like if I could take care of my mama, then I'm doing right by my brother. If I could make sure my mama's always good, I'm doing right by my brother. He's smiling, you know. So that's what it is for me. If I gotta lie to get her out the house and keep her busy, that's what I do.
Man,
so sorry, mama.
Do, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. She owned it too.
I believe it. I believe it.
She was just saying that, you know, the situation terrifies her, and, you know, she gets anxiety when she, you know, when the police is around, and when she see the police, and I believe her too, man. I believe her too, man.
And like Paige said, it's because of the manner. Like, if you were to imagine to lose your loved one, like, of course a loss is a loss, but like a best case scenario is like natural causes, or like if you know that they're ill or something that's like prepares you. But something like this is so traumatic, like
random.
You can't prepare yourself for it, or it's hard to grasp it. So for me, I went through phases of it. Like in the beginning, I was so numb for the, you know, trying to figure out why. And then at a point, I let go of the why, and it just became okay, this is what is. So how can I, you know, get through with this? And the first stage was me battling with the, you know, religion thing and just understanding the spiritual side, because even that motherly sister instinct didn't click off. Like whenever it came to at the apartment, I'm looking and seeing how he traced his steps and all that, and I'm, oh my God, like for him to have made it, I'm asking people, so how long do you think that could have took that he was suffering? You know, all of that. Like my mind rambled on every little detail of it. I was still worried about him, you know, with everything. So when it came to his passing, the first thing is, because me and him were both, I call him my weird bestie, because we was into like UFOs, you know, Joe Rogan shows and spirits, you know, all that kind of stuff. He was my person that we'd send each other videos, you know. He was into that too, you know, with me, bro, you think this true, this real? So when he first passed, like aside from the feelings and stuff, my first thought was, dang, he gonna get to find out what's real and what's fake. And I was like, bro, you better send me some signs and so I need to know what's going on out there. So when he first passed, my first thought was, okay, I've heard all these stories of, if something traumatic like this happens, sometimes a soul will be stuck and they won't want to, pass on, all this other stuff. So I went straight into, oh my God, I hope my brother ain't there, just sad about how this happened and stuck in that apartment or stuck at my mom. So my own thing, I contacted this girl that I knew who was like a medium and, could talk to spirits and everything. So I took that as my route. Like I needed to speak to him. I need to know something. So that was my comfort, talking to her and being able to, well, if you believe in that, communicate with him. And so she gave me a lot of closure on that. Like, of course, when I asked about the day, like, he wasn't ready to talk about that because it was right after he died. And she was like, he's giving this attention. And when they feel like that, I don't like to push them, So at that time, he wasn't speaking on none of that. So I was just asking about personal stuff. And I really just wanted to know, like, if he crossed over, if he was, okay and all that. And she told me, he wanted to be earthbound. He wants to be here with y'all. He's not a tormented soul, none of that stuck there. And wherever y'all are at, he wants to be right there with y'all. And she told me that night when my mom prayed over him and stuff, and she was like, he's telling me that somebody the night was there talking to him or something like that. And I was like, oh, my mom, she prayed over him. And she was like, yeah, so he wants to acknowledge that he was still there, when she did that and everything. So I told that to my mom, and she was like, and that was a big, thing for her. And of course, he told me, some things to pass to his friends. Like, he wanted me to get therapy, and he was like, he might do it, he might not, but, maybe because I'm saying it, he might, but I don't think he will. So, like, she told us that, And so I used that. That first healed my heart a little bit, like, whether it was real or not. But, like, the things she was saying to me, I took it as, that's my brother talking. So that was like okay, I know he's okay. He's still here. So he's here, but I just can't see him. So then from that, I walk in my everyday just talking out loud to him. And I asked her that too. I was like, so if I'm talking to him, because I don't want to seem crazy, can he hear me if I'm talking out loud or in my head, or like, how's it go? So she answered those kind of questions for me. And so ever since then, like, I go through the motions as like he's still there with me. And I don't think about the details of like his death, because that hurts. But I just, like Paige said, to cope in my head, I don't picture it as like, oh, he's gone, but like I know that he's gone, and so I just talk out loud to him. And then like when his son is there, because I watch him and help with him, that's the hardest part, because like I look at him like, man, I know the good person, like this awesome person your dad was, but it's such that like
He'll
you're
never
only gonna have
get
to see
that.
pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I guess to cope with it, I smother him with more love, to feel like my brother's there and like what I feel like he would do and stuff. So his son and that are what keep me going. I didn't seek like therapy or anything. If I would have felt like couldn't get myself out of the hole, I probably would have, because I'm not, against it or anything. We did have my mom go. For sure.
Yeah.
She went to therapy and stuff, but I felt like I'm real headstrong, so I feel like I could manage it as long as I didn't keep myself in a depressed state too long. But I've talked to one before. Whenever I went through the stuff of hurting my arm and then having to stop modeling and feeling ugly and depressed and all that, I've went to one.
Yeah.
But just this situation, I was just like, there's nothing that person can tell me. There's something that I'm going to have to just see through and find my own way to everyday deal with it. And the only way I do that is talking out loud to them.
That's
whatever
me.
I feel, whatever I want to know. It'll be a random moment. God dang, Poppy, you saw that? Like, that's the only way that I can.
Yeah, that's me. I cry by myself. Whenever you have kids, it's hard to grieve. It's hard to do anything. It's hard to be sad. It's hard to be mad. It's hard to feel your feelings when you are a parent, especially to little ones like me. I have, 2 little ones under the age of 5, so grieving has been hard, throughout this process. So sometimes I get in the shower, I just cry.
I get in that shower and just
I go in the restroom and lock the door, and Gianna will be pulling on the door, Mommy, you okay? And I'm just locked in the restroom, not doing nothing, just crying. Or I'll just look in the mirror and I'm just talking. And that helps because I could hear my brother's voice in my head, like, bro, is you crying? Like, what are you doing? Like, bro, I know you ain't crying. Yeah, so that helps too. And therapy, like you said, I'm not against it. If I felt like I needed it, I would. But seeing how strong my mom has been throughout the process, just, even though she's gone to therapy, I feel like that has helped her tremendously. But even prior to that, she was always so headstrong. She never let her crown fall. And that is something that I admire. If she can do it, losing her son and still being the same intelligent woman, a mother to 2 other kids, a most amazing grandmother, still a great friend, with still managing, a social life in the process of grieving. If she could do it, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm gonna accept it. I'm gonna accept it, and I'm gonna have to keep it pushing. If she's all right, I'm all right. You know what I mean? So that's why I say I have to watch her, because if I see her fall, then and we can't let that happen, because I got 2 little
holding
ones.
each other up. Like,
Yep.
I think that's why so many
Yep.
parents be trying to be so strong, man, because it's hard to fall apart when you still got kids, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And one thing about being a parent, like young parents, they don't realize, bro, the minute you have kids, you're a parent till you die.
Yeah.
You're going to be parenting to the day you die.
Yep.
You could be 85 and your child could be 60-something. You're going to be parenting to the day you die.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That
It
all
ain't
like,
no 18
yeah,
and
man,
up.
like, I'm with, like, I'm one of them parents, man, even though, like, when a child comes of age, they try, like Papa, trying to be a man, get out and do their own. The door is always open to come back home. I don't care. We can sit in this motherfucker together. I don't care, because as long as you're around me, I know you're safe.
Yep. And
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
As he
Yvonne.
got
Yep.
older, he had 3 doors. Even at my houses in Houston, he had a room. And he'd tell me, I got a room at my sister's house too.
Yeah, he'll go
got
up there,
somewhere
stay
to
for
go.
weeks at a
Yep.
time, come back in my mama's
And
house.
it should always be like that. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Regardless
never
of how
done
they-
learning yet.
Yeah.
Never, man. Never done learning. You said something real right there, too.
Yeah. The other day, I went to my mom's house, because my brother's room is still set up the same way. We kept it the same, to make it feel like it's natural. You know what I mean? Like it's not
And that's
nothing out of the
another thing
norm.
that people don't like address or talk about. Like after you lose somebody like that, like you don't know, like what are you supposed to do with all this stuff? Like you don't want to just throw it away, So you have all these attachments and all this stuff to just constantly remind you. So it becomes like a real mental thing after that. Like going into my mom's house, like first of all, that was Poppy's house. Like you see how
you
big
couldn't
them
tell
was, that was,
nothing.
we were finna move into there. That was Poppy's house. So
Yeah.
when you just go in there, like the whole like aura and feeling in there, it's just like, man, like you expecting to see him walk through there, him tell you turn his lights off, him tell you like
Close my front door.
like, and it's just that feeling in there. Like even when I come down here, I go and stay at Paige's house, and like going over there, it's like a more memorial type of house. Or something. Like I go in there just to feel his presence and feel him, and so I can imagine my mama living and sleeping in there, because I can't. As soon as I pull up to the front of the house, it's just. It's Poppy.
Yeah, and that's why I go. I go because I feel like my
Him
brother's
there.
there. Yeah, I feel like his presence is there. So I go all the time. I'll take, my daughter over there to go see my mom, or I'll take her over there just because she want to go to grandma's house to do nothing. And I always go in my brother's room. I just make it a priority. I go in there, run my hand across his stuff, just so that way he knows we ain't forgot about him.
Yeah.
And I was in there the other day, and I was just looking at his stuff. And Gigi comes in there, and she says, Mommy, you're looking at Uncle Poppy's stuff? And I say, yeah, I'm just looking at it. She said, but why you crying? I said, I'm not crying, girl. It's okay. He's with baby Jesus. You don't have to cry. He's watching. And I said, okay, girl, thank you. Thank you for the clarification. So that stuff like that, lets me know that, he's there and his presence is there and stuff. So that keeps me going too, you know. But just having to explain to my daughter, like, yes, Uncle Poppy is with baby Jesus, but you know, getting that clarity from her lets me know, you know, we're doing something right, you know.
I kind of think like that too. What you were just saying, like, you know, when a loss like this, man, you know, how do you get rid of this stuff?
You
know
don't.
what I'm saying? Like,
It's like you can't.
like
Yeah.
you know, like
We still got his car. We just pay the stuff every month. Keep that going. We still got all his stuff. We figure his shoes, knick-knack, stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know, we could try to save for his son. You know,
Yeah.
but in reality, all the stuff you can't keep forever. But it's
Yeah.
like not until we get ready or get
Yeah,
to that
like, to get to
point.
that
Like,
point, yeah,
how do you
man,
know
like-
what's that point? Like,
and then like because like I mean I know it'd be movies, but you like you know you see certain movies when they have like them intimate scenes like that, and somebody tries to get rid of something, and then the other person goes super
Crazy.
berserk,
Yeah.
like is you out of your mind? You know what I'm saying? Like the attachment to things. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
real.
But you know what? Like, cause I'm just thinking like this right now. This ain't nothing that's been in my head. I'm just trying to think like. Sometimes we really got to give it to God. Like man, you got to give it to him, man, because if I keep holding on to this, man, you know, I could be strong for 10 years straight. You know what I'm saying? But man, that real moment of overwhelming, man, like like I ain't never seen when my mom passed away, my daddy didn't cry through the whole thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Until everything was done.
Yeah.
Till everything was finally done. Preparations, they buried him, laid it in the ground, and then we finally got home. And I ain't never seen my daddy cry in his life for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about him too, I knew how much my daddy loved that woman because he didn't care about nothing in life but her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, of course he cared about us, you know, the
Yeah.
kids and stuff like that. But man, we can do whatever we want except for make that woman mad. Man, you make that woman mad, it's on in your life, man. It's on my boy. Who? It's like this is my wife. She's your mother, but this is my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't care. She gave y'all birth. This is my wife. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You don't, man. He ain't play about that woman, man. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. And I never seen him get emotional. You know, outside of like when she like Crown did this, and I had to get an ass whooping. But
Yeah.
for the most part, he was like well tempered, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like real smooth, you know what I'm saying? Not no loud dude or nothing
Yeah.
like that. But man, when my mama passed away, and you know, funeral arrangements was done, funeral was over, you know what I'm saying? That's the first time I ever seen my pops cry, man. Like,
and seeing that pain from your parent is another type of feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, man, that's my strength right here, and I'm
Yeah.
seeing them.
you know what?
broke
You know
down,
what was crazy for me? Like my mom passed. I'm actually adopted into this family. You know what I'm saying? So they raised me since I was 2. But my mom passed when I was 9. You know what I'm saying? And I knew, but like I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Now, my dad was my best friend, so he died later on in life. Like when I got
Yeah.
26, he finally passed away. That fucked me up.
Yeah.
Like to this day, I still need him. You know what I'm saying? Because it was some things that I didn't get taught, man.
Yeah.
And even at this age, you know, there's some things I should already
Still
have
missing
known.
them.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nobody that could teach me this shit
Yeah.
but him. You know what I'm saying? And I be like, when dating or relationship like that, man, I be like, man, I wish my daddy was here so I can ask him this, because niggas be so like, dudes be so like, man, you got to have a good friend to try to keep you and your girl together. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a real good friend who tell you that, nah, bro, you wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, niggas gonna tell you like, fuck a nigga.
Yeah, they gonna be on your side.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like they not gonna let you know when you wrong, man. And my daddy wasn't with none of that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Boy, you wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, because I really be thinking I'm doing what's right. You know what I'm saying? My intentions are good, but you know, like me, even though I got 3 different women who have children by me, man. And if I can be there to help them if they ever need. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing from them. I don't want a relationship. I ain't trying to get in bed with nobody. None of that. I don't even like in real life. I don't even look at them like that no more. Like for real, we just got these kids. We got these grandkids. But I'm grateful for y'all because y'all gave me my kids, man.
Yeah.
Y'all could have. The type of dude I was, you could say, I'm not having this nigga baby. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. And I'm grateful because I love my kids so much. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm in the financial situation where I can help them, that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? If they something happened and they need to talk to me, I talk. You know what I'm saying? And then like you been in relationships and some women don't understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look, I don't want nothing from her. She can't take me from you.
Yeah.
And there's no way she could take me from you. But like one time when I was with somebody, I was still helping my baby mama because she needed the help, right? And Shorty was insecure about it. And I was talking to my son one day, and it was just like, Daddy, you can't keep doing that, man. You know, you're in a relationship with somebody. Mama got to learn to figure this shit out on her own, man. You know, she got us, but she can't always come to you. You with somebody, man. Ain't nobody going to be taking that shit. And, you know, I'm like, damn, this nigga sound like my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this nigga sound just like my daddy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, I felt like I wasn't doing nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be with her. I don't want nothing with her or nothing like that. It's just I'm grateful for my kids, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for what she gave me. So if I could help, I'm gonna help. I don't talk. I don't get on the phone and call her, none of that shit like that. 9 times out of 10, she'll probably call me. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Or something happened with, like, one thing about me, all my in-laws, you know, that from previous, they love me, man. I'm still family. It don't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they'll call me a situation about one of the family members or something like that, and they just need some advice. And like, that's what I do. It ain't nothing that I'm not trying to do. But shit, man, you know, that insecurity be sitting there for the other individual, man. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of strain things and stuff like that. That's why I be like, man, I wish my dad was still here because you can't deny my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I tell people too, like I was adopted by an older couple. My dad was born. He passed away when I was 26. This dude was born in 1913. You feel what I'm saying? And what kids my age was getting from their parents, they wasn't getting what I was getting.
That's been
You know what I'm saying? My mom was what, 1913. He was 6 years older than her. She was like born in 1919. You know what I'm saying? So, and my dad died in 97, 98. I think it was either 97, 98, and 84. You know what I'm saying? My mom passed when I was 9. She was 61. You know what I'm saying? But these is the parents that I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These are the parents that I know, and this was the parenting that I got. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to a breakup, that should be hard for me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm really like one of them dudes, bro. I'm really like one of them dudes, like, man, breakup be hard for me, man. I be fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them niggas I'm not one of them niggas that be that be moving on fast and trying to go jump in the windmill. I be kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shit like that. Like, I be still want to be with who I want to be. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of them dudes but that's because, like, out of all my partners, I'm my closest friends, I'm the only one that had a dad. Yeah. Everybody else, they were just with their mom. You know what I'm saying? And the dad would just come around every now and again. But I'm the one who was raised by his dad, whose dad was in the house. Shit, my dad, for the most part, was their dad because they come spend the night at the crib. You know what I'm saying? And their mothers were my mothers. You know what I'm saying? So that shit, like, when you need that motherly or that fatherly advice, you know what I'm saying? That shit ain't there. That shit is tough, man. Yeah. Tough when you out here trying to thug it out on yourself. Yeah. But I'm glad my sons come to me for that advice, man. You know what I'm saying? It kind of remind me of me trying to be my daddy. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's one thing that hits me to the core, though, about my nephew is he'll never get that. You know what I mean? I feel like that was robbed from Jaleel at a very young age, obviously, but he'll never get that. You know, his dad attending his, sports event, that, donuts
them
with
those
dad at
talks.
school, those talks, the girl talk, the birds and the bees. Like, my nephew will never get that, all because of a senseless act, and I feel like we, as much as we will try
to feel that.
to step in and fill that void for him, there'll be nothing like having your dad around, you know what I mean? And I feel like he'll never, ever, ever, ever get that. Now, Junior, of course, will be able to tell him all about his dad. Junior loved Poppy. Junior knew Poppy. He got to experience Poppy, but Jaleel never did and never will, and like you said earlier, you were grateful for your baby mamas, and I'm grateful, very, very grateful for my brother's baby mama, because one thing about her is, because she made that decision to keep my nephew, we have a piece of my brother. Now, did we know this was going to happen to my brother? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, but having Jaleel here just fills that void just a little bit. We got a piece of my brother here that will continue to live on his legacy. You know what I mean? It'll never be, oh, Poppy just gone and that's it. No, Poppy's still here, and we got Jaleel too.
And
so
regardless of like if you raised with your parents and stuff, a lot of your mannerisms, ways you think, all of that comes straight from them, and you don't even realize. I learned it when I got older, but like, you are a split image of your parents, whether you like it or not. So having that, his dad will be able to tell him, I know why you thinking like that. I know why you like that, because you just like them. And so for us to try to feel that, it's gonna be hard, because like you said, you at the end of the day, you need that parent. Later on, when my daddy got out, I call him for everything, because I know I'm a split between him and my mama. And so if she can't answer that part, that's a trait from him. Let me call him. And he can break it right down. Yep.
I tell my sons that all the time. So I'm like, boy, you acting like your daddy. Acting like your daddy right now. You better tighten up, boy. You know what I'm saying? Because
I know where it's going.
You know what's crazy? Like, Dominique liked to draw, right? And mind you, I used to draw like this head, this love. When I was in when I was in like elementary, the way I used to just draw this picture, right, like of a face, right. But when Dominique got into painting this past couple of years, man, he drew the same head, man. The same.
I know what head you talking about.
The same three pictures.
Yep.
That I drew the same exact way, and when I seen it, I couldn't believe it, man. And I was telling my Dominique, this is just how I draw. This when I was at Coles, you know what I'm saying? When I was started learning to draw and stuff like this. This is everything that you done, from the facial structure to the ears, the eyes, the lips, the nose. Dominique, this is just how I used to draw this shit, man. And it was crazy, man.
Like father, like son.
It was crazy, man. Like it's crazy. And sometimes when I hear, Nunu running his mouth, when he get frustrated, I like, boy, you acting like
Sound
me.
just like.
I like, boy, you acting just like me, man. You know what I'm saying? I like, take it down some, man. I done did this, and I'm saying you doing the same exact thing, dog. You know what I'm saying?
You pick up those traits without even realizing it.
Even my daughter, she's stubborn, man, but she get that from me, man. She's strong headed, man. My daughter the type that like, man, really like, she like me, what I say go. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when we think, even when we're in the wrong,
you
know
right.
What I'm saying? We right. You know what I'm saying? My daughter's strong headed, and Jasmine, you know what I'm saying? Jasmine walked right in, like, put my shoes on and ran with him, smart as hell, but took his ass to the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the same way. Book smart, man, there ain't too much I don't know. There's a lot I don't know, but it ain't too much I don't know. Yeah. Jasmine's the same way, man, but it's just decisions we be making, man. You know what I'm saying? Take us to places we don't even want to be, man.
Yeah. We more like
I can't even say how I learned how to deal with mine, because I got that anger and stuff too, because we got some Yvonne traits.
Oh, yeah.
I learned how to cope, so I just try to instill those in my brother too, because when he get mad, he be mad, but I know how to deal with it, so I tried to help, but that Preston side that'll come out, I can't help it with that. You got both sides, so it's double whammy.
Well, before we go, man, I'm gonna take us out with this question right here. You know what I'm saying? What do you hope your brother's legacy will be, and how would be and how will y'all go about keeping that memory alive?
I would say it was. I guess to live life to the fullest, because that's what he did, regardless of the, you know, head bumps he had to learn along the way. He still liked enjoying life, and I'm gonna try my best to even instill that in my son and his son and everything. You know, enjoy those moments and live, because you only get to be a young boy once. You know, don't grow up too fast.
Yeah, man.
Take heed to all these little moments. If you know, if I'm telling you, I got you. You know, I'm here, stay in a child's place and care about those things. Because the moment you try to grow up too fast, life is hard.
You.
Yeah, life is hard.
It ain't too cute being an adult. It kind of sucks. You know?
Yeah. I don't know what they're seeing.
Yeah.
But if I could go back to them days, you wouldn't be able to change my mind.
Suck, man.
Yeah, I tell my mama all the time, I did not sign up for this. I did not.
So I guess the watching the man that he was becoming, regardless of, you know, how the choices he made coming up and everything, I commended him for that, because he brought his own self out of what he was doing, because he didn't like to tell all his business or tell you what he's going through and all that. So just from his actions or like little things that he would try to say to me, I could tell that he was dealing with stuff, but because he was able to pull himself out of that and overcome it and put those feelings aside, like I saw the man that he was growing into, like, and it was making me so proud. Like, so I guess that will be what I could say for his legacy, that no matter what your upbringing or how you started, you can always change your path whenever you're ready to, you know, and be a better person. It just takes your willpower.
Yeah, I have to agree. I feel like he was very headstrong, even when he was going through stuff. If you didn't know him on a personal level, you wouldn't tell, because he was still out in the scene, hanging with people, make you laugh, joking around. You know, he was never one to just show his emotion. So if he didn't tell you or you didn't see it physically on him because you knew him on that personal level, then you know you wasn't gonna know. You know, and that's just the type of person he was. You know, and he was also one to just give it. You know, if he had his last $10 and you needed $10, he was gonna give it to you. Or he was gonna give you $5 and y'all was gonna make it work. You know, it was all about brotherhood with Poppy. You know, when he had those friends, when he called you his brother, it was because you meant something to him. You know what I mean? And I feel like that is also something that I want to instill in his son, is when you find those friends, you hold on to them. You don't let them go. You ride for those friends, because I see, you know, my brother had this tight group of friends, and even now to this day, my brother's gone and they still call and check up on us. They don't let his legacy die. They don't let his name, they don't let nobody talk bad about him, nothing. They still ride for my brother as if he was here. And that's one thing that I will always teach his son, is when you come across them friends, just like your dad had, you hold on to them, because those going to be the ones that ride for you.
Trey love the hell out of Poppy.
Oh, yeah.
He love the hell out of Poppy, man. Oh, he on there too. He said most definitely. Trey love the hell out of Poppy, man. I could just hear when that time that we interviewed, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody saw that.
I ain't gonna lie, kid. Whole time we sitting over, I'm looking, I'm like, man, she whole mannerism that's all like Yvonne, man.
You said that before we
I
came.
said that
Nigga
before he
said,
came.
That's Yvonne.
That looked like the lady before. That looked like the mom.
Our whole life growing up, that's what I always heard.
Yep.
Well, I really,
Yvonne twin.
Yeah.
I really appreciate y'all coming through, man, and just giving us this part of Poppy, man. It really did something to my spirit, man. And I hope it because I feel like it's just a platform to where, man, y'all can say what y'all need to say, man. You know what I'm saying? And get a little closure just by saying some things too for y'allself, man. Your mannerism is so good, and the way you talk, you make a motherfucker cry, man. You know what I'm saying? And I could see that you holding in a lot of pain too.
Yeah.
Like you really love your brother, and you really miss them. You too, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But you're a little more outgoing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
the baby girl,
Yeah.
you know, of it all. So.
Yeah.
But for me, it was more
more
personal.
personal.
Like, he was like a son.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say, I can see where, like, you coming from, like, a little sister, you know what I'm saying, about her brother, and I can see you coming from, like, a mother
Yeah.
temperament, you know what I'm saying? So,
You see where I get my strongness from, though. I got two strong women that I look up to. So,
I once again, I really appreciate y'all for coming through, spending this time with me, man, bringing it to Ridin High Podcast. And, man, look, man, I wish both of y'all the best, man. And, you know, like, maybe one day down the line, like, one thing about therapy is that reason why I appreciated it because the person didn't know me, man. You know what I'm saying? The person didn't know me, man. And they listen and they just have tools you can use. You know what I'm saying? They can lead you to the right tools you can use. They don't fix, people think therapists going to fix the problem. No, they don't fix the problem. They just help you fix the problem. They can give you the tools to fix your problems, man. Because I was suicidal, man.
yeah.
Went to this one lady, man, and she gave me news I could use, and I've been better ever since.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So even when, you know, because I know women told y'all to hold on to some shit too, man. Because
Yep.
y'all really
We
have
just
to be
talked-
strong.
yeah,
too.
too,
You know what I'm saying? Y'all to hold on to some shit too. I just want to let y'all know y'all don't have to, man. You know what I'm saying? There's always avenue for you, man. Just whenever, like you say, whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might not ever need it. You know what I'm saying? But if that ever day comes, I recommend it.
Yeah.
And I wish y'all the best. Love y'all, man. I've been knowing y'all since y'all was babies, man. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate y'all coming through, man.
Thank you for having us.
With that being
Thanks
said,
for doing this.
peace, gang.